be on just in seconds. Just finishing, okay? Polka dot circus, circus, polka dot. It's hot. Yeah, I got warm today, huh? Eat 4 of those before you go out front, dude.
What? You didn't put that.
I was talking about her. She got to eat 4 chicken nuggets before she goes outside to play.
Daddy,
just push it. Kick it with your foot.
Daddy.
Yeah, kick it. Kick it real
Daddy,
good. Huh?
I only ate 2 of them, so I have 2 more left.
Good girl.
You're on. You're live. Ready to go.
All right.
Should be.
Nice.
Where's your phone?
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it right now. Hey, Emma, you eat and then you can go up front, okay? Huh? Okay. We're letting some people get on right now. People. You good, bro? You straight? What? What?
Straight.
Straight? Polka dot circus, circus, polka dot.
Oh.
Actually, you know what? How many people we got on here so far? 3? Surely that is wrong. Okay.
Hey, Daddy.
Yeah, princess.
Rich says it's rich chocolate. Get it?
Fly Fisherman Dave from the 661. Evidently, I'm going to need my glasses tonight because I can't see a goddamn thing. Oh my goodness, the chocolate cake. You have damn cake in your mouth.
It's rich chocolate.
Just saying.
Rich's
It is Rich's cake. I had Rich's cake in my mouth. Hey. Fly Fisherman Dave from the 661. Right. Evidently, I'm going to need my glasses tonight because I can't see a goddamn thing. So let's turn this down.
Hey, Daddy.
Yes.
I ate 4 of them.
Well, there was 6 there. And I said 4, so can you meet me in the middle and eat 5?
No.
Meet me in the middle. Come on.
No.
Okay, who out there thinks that it's okay for Emma just to eat 4 chicken nuggets, and should she eat the 5th one? Should she eat the 5th one? See if anybody says anything. I think you should eat the 5th one. I think it's
Go
in your.
and see.
I think it's in your best interest.
Let's see if people say anything.
What'd you? I'll give you an inch. You take a mile. You go in there and get a big old 12-ounce root beer. You can be. Come on. Mike Graves, Fly Fisherman Dave, what's up?
Okay, I'm not gonna eat the 5th one.
David Chichzola? Chichzola? I don't want to murder your last name. I think it's Chichzola. I can't say it.
Daddy, I'm
I
going
think.
to
Okay. I think I'm saying that right. And Jay Bitch. I know Paul gonna be up on here. Kelvin Walker. What's up, Kelvin? Scott. From Nebraska? Scott's all the way from Nebraska. Yeah, I think it's still all snowy up there, isn't it?
Should be.
I guess Emma's not eating that last chicken nugget. Hey, there's a chicken nugget in there. I'll sell it to you for $15.
You're still stressing out over the chicken nugget.
That is freaking great. Look at that. You got Jake's phone number in there, perfectly at the top.
Oh, here you go.
Yeah. Okay. We might have to shut that if they're running around and stuff. Hi, guys. So first, I want to start by saying happy birthday to a close friend of mine, Rich Levoc's birthday today. I believe he is 151.
Yeah, I said no, 153. You got it.
You've come a long way, man.
I aged well.
You went from being a kid
Out there on Facebook, anybody that knows me and send me a thank you, I want to thank you. Happy.
Did you say happy birthday back?
For the happy birthday wishes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was on.
I was like, is he going to say happy birthday back to him? Happy birthday. Hey, happy birthday to you too.
Wishes.
Yeah, so Rich, I think, having a great day. Went to go spend some time with his kids and his mom, and it's pretty cool. I mean, you went from playing with dirt as a kid, and now you're all grown up and you're playing remote control cars.
Don't play with dirt.
It's a wonder how technology's come.
Don't play with dirt.
Rich and me, we were techs probably 15 years, no, maybe 10 years ago, 8 or 9 years ago, something like that. We were techs together for a while, and we worked good together, and then we started hanging out outside of work, and the rest is history. We've broken a lot of remote control car parts together. So one of our favorite games to play is 4x4 modified slash tag.
Oh yeah.
So you got 2 modified
Chasing
slashes
race.
with or just stock 4x4 slashes with the Valenians, and they got 3S on them, so they're super wicked fast. And somebody's it, and they gotta literally smash into somebody else for them to be it. And so it's just, especially if you're in the forest and you're playing that, it gets dicey, dude.
Yeah, that's wicked for sure.
It's not. Scott says it's not snowing here. Good. Maybe you guys will be able to get out and do. I know a lot of the guys where you live in an altitude or a geographic location where it snows part of the year. A lot of the guys are still waiting for it to thaw out. Guys like us in California, Arizona, sometimes we take that for granted. We don't realize that for, I don't know what it is, maybe you can help me out, Scott, 4 to 6 or 8 or whatever it is months a year, they can't do nothing with their drag cars unless they can go find something indoors because it's feet and feet of snow. So we're about an hour and a half away from Tahoe.
Good.
And it snows up there. There's snow up there right now.
It's like 2.5, 3 hours.
Is it that far?
Yeah.
Depends
Not that far.
Depends on what you're driving, baby.
Well, you can hit the snow in about 2.5 hours.
We got Kentucky in the house. So anyway, welcome to episode 9, guys. I just wanted to go over some light tech. I'm going to start off by doing some shout-outs. As always, I want to give a shout-out to a very close friend of mine and kind of a business partner and just a good dude. If you've run into this guy and you've talked to him, his name is Paul Peterson. He owns Shark RC Bodies. He's just a really good dude to deal with, and I'm really, really proud to call him my friend, as I am you, Rich.
Thank you.
And, Paul's been working hard. So, Paul, because he's a one-man band, to drive out with all the equipment from Wisconsin and do Vegas and then turn around and drive back altogether was about 9 days for him. And Paul is one of the companies that gracefully, by the grace of God, has not been able or not really fallen behind more than maybe a couple days at times with orders and keeping up. I mean, jumping around from making dirt oval bodies to making drag race bodies to taking orders to picking up more stock to getting the stickers done to, and all this while we're designing new stuff coming out. We're working with, I got a guy of mine here in California who's designing something for us, and we got another guy, I believe his name's Lee, and he's designing another one, and we got 2 products that are just two new bodies. I can't just say products because I'm talking about my body company, or Paul's body company, but the body company. And that's what we do. We do some of the sickest, freshest lids on the market. And these next ones, yeah, they're it's a lot of people are going to be hot to trot to pick these up. We have looked at the totality of what people want and then finally mesh that together with what's working out there and come up with designs that nobody's thought of doing yet. So I'm really excited. I know that one of the two is going to be a must-have on my cars, and that's all I'm going to say. Even Rich is standing there going, "You son of a bitch, tell me what it is." So anyway, we got all kinds of people chiming in. Where's my 4th gen Camaro? I know Clay Ketis, the winner of King of the Streets, keeps bugging me about doing a Chevelle. And that's not something that's going to happen in the next couple months, but watch what you wish for, Clay. You just might get it. I want to move on. I want to give a huge shout out to Jake and Hunter and Tim and all the guys down at Jake's Performance Hobbies. I've been going there since 1989. Before it was Jake's, it was RP Hobbies, Rowan Park Hobbies. And I used to take the bus down there at 14 years old, and I'm 43 now. I mean, that's just amazing that Jake is still one of the original guys that's, owns the shop. He's a great business guy. He has the best deals. Like some stuff, if Jake is out of, you guys know that, whoa, you said I caught and then went back. I need a towel. Jake, I like to buy the stuff that I need from Jake. There's very little things. Anybody knows that I totally encourage everybody across the world to support their local hobby shop. And I try and do that as much as I can, but there's some stuff that I get from my sponsors that, is from my sponsors because that's their product. And there's some stuff, if I'm in a pickle and Jake says, "Man, I don't have that one part in," I have to go online and try and find if somebody's got it, if I need it. If it's something I can wait, Jake knows. He knows that I'll hold out for a part. You know what I'm saying? If it's not something that's pressing, like if I was going to modify or upgrade or repair something like this,
watch out, you're gonna spill it.
and Jake didn't have what I wanted in, I'd just order it. You know what I'm saying? I'd have him order it, and it came in when it came in. Jake is at the front line of getting stuff in the shop before or at the same time as other shops. The only other place that I order when it's something that I don't get from my sponsors and Jake doesn't have it in and I need it, if I have that trifecta, then I will order from a place in Northern California called A Main. And Jake is $10 cheaper on average than A Main Hobbies. Yeah. And that's ridiculous, being as A Main Hobbies is probably one of the best priced online stores there is, But aside from the prices, I'm also another guy that will, although I don't have to at Jake's, but with other local businesses, I will pay an extra $5 or $10 or $20 if, to support a local business. So I'm blessed by the grace of God to be able to do that. So Jake is located here in Roanoke Park, California, and Jake's Performance Hobbies is open Tuesday through Saturday. You can call them at 707-586-3375. A lot of my followers probably know that by now. And if you live in an area that, like, the nearest hobby shop is 6 hours away, because if you live in an area, I'd love everybody to go to Jake's, but you have your own shop there, and I suggest that you get those parts from your shop to support your local hobby shop. But if your local hobby shop refuses to get into drag racing or doesn't have the parts that you need and won't get them in, or you don't have a hobby shop that you can support that's 20 minutes away like we do, call Jake at 707-586-3375 from Tuesday to Saturday. He has not only everything, planes, boats, drone stuff, a huge selection of crawler stuff. You crawler guys, get a hold of Jake's. But the drag race stuff, we've been in it since day one, and he's just always been a supplier he's constantly weekly scours as to what's going on and what people are drifting to, and he gets that stuff in the shop. So if you're looking for something drag related, chances are Jake probably has it in stock if you can't get it somewhere else. So with that said, I want to give a huge shout out to Chris Vieira and Dave of DE Tires. Great tires, great product, great people, made right here in the United States. And I'm just really, really, really proud to be representing for DE. I think that DE's got what it takes. I know there's may or may not be some new stuff on the market soon that they might be working on. I want to give a huge shout out to Steve Villanueva. R1 Works for supporting me, my on-road addiction, my drag racing addiction, and working on him with some prototype stuff, which is just really fun. These guys that I team up with, like the Mark Vines and the Chris Vieiras and the Steve Villanuevas, and these are guys that I've talked to for hours on end on the phone, and these guys are just so brilliant and smart. And I think that I'm not a dumb guy, so when I start talking about designs or prototypes or stuff we could do or where I think the market's going, and then they rap back with the same kind of intellect. It makes for a really exciting conversation, and that's how ideas are born. So I'm really, really proud to be representing all these companies. Last but not least, flashpacks, Milo Carvalho. If you don't have a flashpack, if you need a flashpack, Paul Peterson is calling me right now. Should I pick this up? Let's see. Let's get into a little Pauly Paul. What's up, Ack? What's up, buddy? You know we're live, right? And you're on speakerphone. He doesn't say anything. How you doing out there in Wisconsin, Paul?
I'm just had a call you just to mess with you. Anyways, I'll let you get back to your show. It's just being annoying.
That's all you called me for?
You betcha.
So hey, Paul. By now, I have, with your gracious permission and the many talks that we have weekly that we have been for a very long time now, have led some hints to Shark releasing some products coming soon. And I know that we are not ready to tell anybody anything about what those two bodies are going to be. But I just want to ask you, on a scale from 1 to 10, how freaking excited are you?
What is 10 is the most?
Yeah.
Probably about 1.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait to get them going, man.
Yeah, very soon. So
It's taking a while.
it does. When you got all these guys chiming, I know they chime in because they want to have a voice and they want to be heard and they want to say, hey man, this is the body that me and my buddy want. We like to take that stuff into consideration, guys, but we also have to take in, there's a couple things you need to know about body making. Number one, Paul can't say, oh, you want a 72 Chevy C10? Well, let me go in my shed with my metal clippers and clip you one out. I'll be back in 20 minutes. It doesn't work like that. Each shell takes months of design and playing with them, and me bouncing back and forth to Paul and the designers and stuff like that. And then once it's done, then it goes in to get made, and after that, shortly Paul puts the rest of it together, and bingo, we have a new body. It's a very lengthy process. It's a very expensive process to do it right.
Usually Dan, I usually take his input and then I go the opposite direction.
Hey, on that case, Paul, I'll take 2. I'll take 2 of each.
All I can say is that they're going to be great additions to the Shark platform. There are going to be more bodies that just work. I think that there are 2 bodies that there's going to be something for most people out there, for kind of the both sides. Can we talk at all, Paul, at this point about maybe brand base, what the bodies are based off of?
Yeah. No.
It's killing Dan.
It's killing me, dude.
This is killing him.
So for all those people that just randomly that barely know me, message me throughout the week and say, hey, what's this new product? I really got to know what the body is. And I tell you that I can't tell you. It's because it's not my product. It intellectually belongs to Paul. I'm just along for the ride. I'm his buddy trying to help him out and be a teammate and be a friend. And so when he gives me the final go, but I will say, without even getting an answer from Paul, that there's something for everybody, I think, this next time around.
The reason why we don't talk about it is that sometimes there can be delays. And if we say what it is, then everybody's going to be emailing Dan, messaging me, emailing me, asking, what is it? Is it ready? Can we get it? And this has happened in the past. So because of that, and we we have to just hold off. I know it just, and then Dan just gets everybody crazy because he constantly brings it up, and everybody's like, come on, man, tell me. So,
I don't constantly, I think I've mentioned new bodies like maybe 2 or 4 times.
Two or 4. What is it? 2 or 4?
I think it might be. I think it might be 4. I feel like it's 2, but it might be 4. But you know, it might just be 5.
Hey, gotta put it in check.
I don't know. We talk about it many times at night, so I forgot how many times we talk about it, but it's been an ongoing thing, so it's getting closer. Unfortunately, I know people are probably like, come on, but we're at the mercy of others to move forward on it just because it's a process that involves a few extra people to do this, and as much as we want to say it's ready, we can't if we don't have other people and other businesses are backlogged too. The supply chains are taxed right now from COVID, but you would think that this might have affected things last year, but back then the supply chains were full and there was items to get.
Yeah. So what I think's happening is for the first 6 months of COVID, guys, okay, we were getting 6 to 8 months. We were getting what was made before it hit and all the plants shut down. And now that's caught up. Now that's caught up with us. That bubble of time moving through, where there was nothing being produced, is kind of what's hitting us now, and it's hitting everybody. It's hitting the electronics world with chips. I mean, look, there's motors. I mean, you went to go order a motor the other night, and there was nothing. He's like, "Well, I don't want to do this, but let's just see if there's another brand in stock in that turn."
Dude.
And we couldn't find. He
can't
searched
find
6
nothing.
different brands. He couldn't find
I
nothing
can't
in
find
stock.
anything.
So
I need 2 motors and I can't find them in any churn.
yeah,
Doesn't
so
matter.
there you need to be, you know, as far as that stuff, our stuff, we're not. We have material. We're ready to rock. We're in the final stages of design, I could say, Paul.
Yeah, absolutely.
Final stages of design. I think we've made our many changes and our tweaks and stuff to what we think will just not only sell but work. We don't want a product that just sells and look pretty. We want something that looks pretty and really works. Form before function. I mean, function before form.
Yep.
So.
Race bodies.
Form.
But anyway, well, thanks for calling in, Paul. I'll give you a call after the show, and try not to insult me too bad for the rest of the show, okay?
you know the comments are going to be there. Anyway, I had to call in because, hey, I'm just me. How much more annoying can you be that call in the middle of the show?
Usually it's my mom, so.
Yeah. All right. Talk to you later.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you
See you,
soon.
Paul.
Bye.
Hey, bye. See you, Rich. Goodbye.
So let me go back. I don't know how well you guys could hear Paul. I'm hoping that you did. It was kind of a what's up, Jasmine? Fred, Kevin, Mike Graves. So yeah, guys, we're getting really, you know, it takes a couple months to design one new body, and we got 2 different firms doing 2 of them at the same time, and they're both whittling down. And then once that happens, the next stage happens, and that usually takes a week or 2. And then after that, we bring it back, and there's half a day's worth of work that Paul has to do for what that work is to kind of conjoin them together in what he does. Conjoin. Yeah, just made that up. And then the bodies will be out. So you guys will hear it here. You know you will. You'll hear it on Shark. You'll see it everywhere. You'll know what we're talking about. But it's going to be really good stuff. So a huge shout out to Milo Carvalho at Flashpacks. This guy's just, you know, if I want custom stuff, he can make it. He uses really good products. If you don't have a flash pack, that's where I was when Paul called. If you don't have a flash pack, if you don't have a capacitor bank in your car, if you're just getting into this and you kind of maybe you've heard of them, contact Milo Carvalho at Flashpacks and reach out to him and say, hey, this is what I got, this is what I'm running, what do you think? The guy's very knowledgeable at what you're going to need, and he gets you a flash pack out to you. So, excuse me, this ginger ale's really got me going tonight. Couple little things. I'm gonna put a post up. I have some ideas for really good shows, and those shows are contingent on some things that are about ready to happen. So I'm not ready to pull the trigger on them yet. And so tonight I thought I would just go over some basics of drag racing, and some basics of just racing safety, period. Whether you're at a real track or you're at an RC track, whatever it may be, just some stuff you need to do and watch out for. And then a couple little tricks and tips that I think maybe will help some of the new guys. You know, I'm noticing, I said this I think 2 weeks ago, that I'm noticing a swarm of people come in again. I mean, it's always been a constant flow of drag racing, but I'm seeing a huge swarm of flow of new people get in, and I'm already starting to see them, you know, really just get bad info. Like, for instance, this week I saw a guy, obviously was just, I mean, brand new. He says, hey guys, I'm new to this. I'm looking to get more speed out of my car. I'm running a 40 or 32 pitch, 56 and 14 tooth pinion, and that was it. And I said, you know what? I know exactly what I'm going to see in this post, and I clicked on it and I opened it up, and I was like, you know what? I was appalled at how many people were just so. And I know they were trying to help out, but with somebody that knows so little, that person needs to get sat down and made to realize that there's more that goes into the gear ratio than just throwing freaking gears at it. So this guy's going at a 14, and there was 2 or 3 guys on there that said, hey, throw a 20 on it. And I was like, not knowing with this guy, you don't know where he's boosted to. You don't know what he's running. I mean, you got to ask him some more questions. I need to know the weight of the car. I need to know the rollout of the car. I need to know what kind of car it is, so I know what kind of internal ratio the transmission has. I need to know what the tuning capabilities are, where they're set at right now, where the end belt timing is, and then I feel safe giving you a gear to get you where you want to go without blurting out just a number. And I'm really hoping, I never followed up with it, I'm really hoping that gentleman, whoever it was, I don't even remember what page or what name, and I really hope that I wrote a nice little article just saying, hey look, there's a lot more to this. You can get a hold of me if you want. There's a lot of other racers out there you can get a hold of as well to get some proper information, but there's a lot more that goes into this than just throwing gears at it, because that's how you know, cars melt down, or rotors break, or, you know, all kinds of stuff can happen. So I want to give the new, you know, I started this out a year ago saying I want to give the new guys tips and tricks and stuff to get their cars going and get them faster and get them having fun and winning races safely. I'm not going to give you a tune if I know that tune with the motor that you described to me that you're running is just going to melt down after 2 or 3 passes. I'm not out to do that to your stuff. So you can guarantee that any kind of information I give out, if this is going to burn your stuff down and this is where you should be, then I'm going to give you information that's right below that. You know what I'm saying? That'll give you, you know, I'll give somebody a hefty tune, but I'll give them a starter tune. So, you know, if the end of that tune is 25 degrees boost and 40 degrees turbo, I'm going to tell them, hey, start at 18 boost and about 25 turbo and work your way up. You
give
know?
a little cushion so if they do
Exactly,
bump something
exactly,
up and make a mistake,
exactly.
they don't fry their
I've
stuff.
seen many people over the years saying, hey, I could tune your stuff, and somebody gives it to them and they fry the speed control the second run because it's turned up too much, and then they buy another speed control from them and have them tune it again, and it just never ends. So always, if you are going to give advice, guys, just make sure that you give it to them in a way that it isn't going to hurt their stuff. And the only way to obtain a solid foundation that nobody's stuff is going to get hurt is to ask them more questions. I say, you know, what are you running? What stuff turned up to, so that I can help you figure this out. That's how we help people. So one of the things we didn't go live last week because we went to a race in San Leandro. We left here at 6 o'clock in the morning and we raced till 4 in the afternoon, and then we rushed home and we ate some food and we went right back out and we had night terrors. I want to congratulate Taylor of winning night terrors, and it was Art that was the runner-up. Art,
yep,
okay, Art was the runner-up. So good job, guys.
Yeah.
We had a really good day. I was on a bender with the Corleone. I was winning races. And then in practice, right towards the end of the race, I ripped a spur gear apart. It was just too much power. It just couldn't handle it. And that spur gear probably had 5 or 6 passes on it. So it was fairly new. So I went back and put a new one on it, and the next race just happened to be in like the semifinals against Rich, and my car was just, we launched and I went out 10 feet, and I got to about I got out on him, and we got to about 90 or 100 feet, and my motor just said, nope, no spur gear for you. And I took out a second one. So I've made some modifications to the car. Rich had a fabulous day of racing. I'm very proud of you, brother. It was a really good day.
I think I got third on that one.
Good.
Yeah,
I'm always constantly sharing with Rich. We're a team. I mean, we're buddies, but we're a team. So we're constantly always bouncing stuff off and logging data and communicating like buddies and teammates should. So
I learned so much on prepping.
Yeah.
Tires.
Yeah, it's fun. I have cars that'll run on no prep, and I like running no prep, but when I bring out my fast cars, I can never understand, man, I got so much power in the car. I was one of the first guys drag racing to really figure out major power. And I couldn't understand why I couldn't get my rear motor, the Ghost and stuff, in the gunslinger past 65 miles an hour. No matter what I did I threw the kitchen sink at these cars. It's because that on a true no prep, it's not a hit, it's a controlled spin, is what it is. That's what softens it. You can leave hard, you can leave light, but there's in true no prep, there's always spinning. There's no such thing as a dead hook.
If you're tearing up tires, you're spinning. Now
I'm running in some areas with some guys that are allowing the prep stuff that I learned from Mark Vine and Sean down in New Mexico. That's how you do it. If you take two cars that are exactly the same speed, and this one has even 5% wheel spin the first 100-foot mark, and this car is dead hooked, this car's always going to kill this car. So it is.
The load, the torque.
That's where people are in a little teeny 132 feet, being able to propel these cars up to the upper 70 miles an hour, and hopefully we'll soon 80 soon.
It's just another level of racing.
It is. It's a different level.
Your locals, like 707, they're staying no prep.
Okay.
No, don't come up the little line with anything on your tires that we can touch or feel or leave anything, and that's. And other places are going to do that too, and that's fine.
And I respect the hell out of a car for that. I respect the hell out of the no prep guys. That's where I came from. It's how I like to run. You throw it down any road, and I have a car that'll do that. So. But
now you have cars that'll go wherever you go. You go, this is what they're running here.
I have my prep car, and I have my put it on anything car. Yeah. So
evens up.
Even sand. You want to go on sand? Let's go. Dirt, mud, whatever.
I saw a post that they were running those. I can't remember what it was.
What's up, Lexi?
It was around here somewhere.
Matt Payne, Tony Purvis, Mark Samuelson's watching. Do we have Mark Vine in the house? He might be racing.
Yeah, I think
or Clay Kiedis. So, let's talk about a couple things. Number one, I have a lot of people say, this is what I'm running, and can you tell me which pinion to get? And I say, you need to get a bunch of them. And the reason why is you got to be responsible. Gearing at the end of the day is part of tuning, and this is all a tuner's game. Gearing is a very important part to the equation. So when I say, go down to your local hobby shop, blow $30 to $50 and buy yourself an arrangements of pinions that somebody there, somebody you trust, will get you in the ballpark. You have the low end for torquey tracks, and you have the high end for fast tracks. And you don't want to just buy one gear or two gears. You want to put together a little pinion. When I say buy a pinion set, so obviously I have a lot of different race cars. This is just some lunky stuff. I got my drag race pinions. I got my road race pinions. These are just a lot of these pinions fell off. These are actually some of these were the Corleone pinions. These are lightweight. They're singing out there. Lightweight Rude Dog pinions. I really like Red Dog or Rude Dog's pinions. Robinson makes some good stuff. I got some steel. I got some aluminum. And my drag car raced aluminum. Although if I go from a plastic 32 pitch gear to a metal one, like I was talking about on the internet the other day, then I'll have to go from aluminum pinion to steel, because you want steel on steel. This steel, it's actually sitting right there if you want to grab it for me.
Which one?
There's a little package, a Robinson Racing package up there somewhere. So there's certain things. Let's get this out. There's certain things that you want to be bringing to the races.
So it was up here?
What's that?
Up here?
It should be. Yeah, there you go. So there's certain things, guys, you want to bring to the races, especially if you really enjoy this hobby and you want to really get the full potential out of it. You want to pick yourself up some pinions. Now, for one car from low to high end, I think 4 to 5 pinions. Hey Emma, can you guys tune it down a little bit?
Yeah.
Thank you. 4 or 5 pinions will usually get you in the mark from the low end to the top end, but you want to have an arrangement so you can mix around. Some days maybe your car's struggling a little bit on the big end and you want to go down a tooth. You go to a different track and it seems like it's really, really punchy, but you don't have the high end. You want to go back up. So it's always good to have some pinions. Another thing you want to bring to the races is spare bearings. As you can see, I got just about every bearing known to man in here. They're extra ball bearings. You never know when you're going to split one. I got some ceramics for certain cars, like my drag car, and I have a lot of steel stuff. Believe it or not, when I stopped breaking rotors, I started destroying ceramic bearings and motors. So I'm actually, even though I run ceramics and everything, and all my stuff's really free like everybody's, my motors, I run steel ball bearings. I don't run ceramics because the wines that I'm running right now will just absolutely just pulverize them. So you want to buy tough stuff. You want to get, when you got a couple bucks here, you got a couple bucks there, and you feel like you got to do something with it for your RC car, buy some spare parts. And that's what I'm kind of getting at here. So I know if a bearing goes bad, a wheel gets wobbly or something after running car isn't handling right, I find a bad bearing, I can take it back to the pit in about 5 or 10 minutes. I can put a new bearing in just about anything. Well, except for the transmission, that would take maybe 20. 30. Okay, 45. So as you can see in here,
depends on what kind of day you're having.
This is all the stuff that I use just for the Corleone. This is pretty much just backup parts and backup parts and backup parts. I got, you want to pick yourself up some extra spur gears. I got spur gears galore in here. I got more and more stacks of spur gears. Because, I bought a lot of spur gears because I was taking them out even before Vegas. And I'm like, man, if I get there and take a spur gear out, I need to have some backup parts. So I have backup parts. In here you're going to find one of everything for the transmission, one of everything for the suspension, one set of front A-arms, one set of rear A-arms, C-hubs, spindle blocks, front axles, complete rear axles ready to go, secondary and third G2 gear diffs ready to go, an extra idler gear, an extra top shaft, an extra clutch assembly, an extra transmission case assembly. I was really, really stocked up and ready for Vegas. And you don't have to have all this stuff in your arsenal. But what I'm getting at is it's good to have the basics of being able to adjust the car. That's where the pinion stuff comes in. You want to be able to move the gear ratio around if you have to. And what you want to do is you want to give your car a look over. Can you do me a favor? Emma, can you just reach up and pull that shut?
You want me to close it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shut it. Go, 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 go.
Watch your fingers.
There you go. Okay. So what I'm getting at is you want to look over your car and you want to look at some weak points. Let's say you hit a board or something like that. You know, on a Traxxas car, I usually would keep one set of front A-arms, one set of rear A-arms. I know I'm not going to break the heavy-duty axles. I know I'm not going to hurt a Proline tranny, but I know I can break the case, so I bring an extra. I got a stack of cases for Proline trannies up there. I bring an extra shock shaft. I didn't have one at that race in San Leandro last week, and that was evidently clear when everybody had all kinds of shocks out trying to help me find a shaft for Emma's car.
Paul said extra sharp bodies.
Yeah. So it is. It's always good to have some spare parts, just some duplicate parts. Nobody, you know, you get there, you don't have your car wherever you're racing completely dialed in the morning, and it spins out before that last. You didn't get a chance to make that last adjustment, and you ran it, and you spin it out, and you break the little tip of the wheelie bar off. You know, in here I got spare wheelie bar plates. You know, there's just about.
Is this on?
What's that?
The oven.
I hope not.
That's hot.
Oh shoot! Yeah, press clear off. Thank you. Yep. So that's what I'm getting at. You want some spare parts. You want some stuff. Actually, I need to grab something out of here anyway. Let's grab one of these. Oh, wait a minute. Those aren't the right ones. Oh, yeah, they are. Okay, so all I'm trying to get at with this little bit of a segment is just have some spare parts on hand. There's nothing worse than breaking your car in the beginning of the day at 10 o'clock in the morning practicing or 9 o'clock in the morning practicing,
and then you're done.
And not having a front A-arm and having to sit there and watch. So, you know, as you get another paycheck under your belt, or you know you have a couple extra bucks, $40 or $50, go down to your local hobby shop and say, hey, I'd like to buy 2 pinion gears. Higher than the one I have on there right now, 1 backup spur, and a set of front A-arms. And then the next paycheck you get, buy
another car.
a $10 set of rear A-arms. And next thing you know, over the next couple months, you'll have a little arsenal of parts like this. And then you'll really know that. I mean, you know, NASCAR or a sprint car racing, you know, that sprint car team, man, they have another whole car in there. They have 2 engines in there. They have a welder in there. They have, I mean, that's why I bring so much stuff to races. I can solder. I can drill. I have a little mini lathe I bring with me. I have a tire truer. I have, you know, all my little things that I bring up, and it wasn't all just bought at once. So don't feel intimidated by a lot of the big guys that are into this, that have a lot of equipment. Because that stuff was acquired over the course of time of a racing career. So that's how we get this stuff built up. Spare parts is a good thing to have in your arsenal. It really is. And this right here, this is just for one car. I mean, I have arsenals for my road race cars. I have them for you know, this drag car, that drag car, that drag car. I mean, I even have some Tamiya stuff. I got a bunch of techno stuff. But yeah, so that's, you know, buy a couple pinions, you guys. Buy an extra spur gear. Have some parts just so you can save yourself the heartache. I mean, you want to go to the track and have fun. So there's nothing better than having fun than when you break your car to continue to have fun because you have the parts with you. So let's take a look at this live feed real quick. I don't know what happened to it. It is. So most tracks, when you go road racing or you go off-road racing, they're usually at facilities that have 110. And, you know, there's like up at 707, he's got a bunch of 4-plug wall mounts on the walls, and, you know, extension cords for people. So everybody, when they get there, they have power for chargers and power supplies and stuff. We are a special kind of racing. Doing drag racing, because we race a lot of times in parking lots and stuff like that. We race on country roads sometimes, just like they're real cars. And it's really, really important to have your own power. Now, my mother is a ex-cop. You know, she's got, you know, guns and a camper and big truck, and so I'm pretty lucky that I've always had a generator of my mom's to borrow. I actually picked this up last week. So for those of you who are looking to get a generator. Why am I smelling something burning?
I turned it off already.
Oh, that was my house burning? What's that burning smell? That's your house, no big deal.
Keep filming.
So I bought this
Gotta catch this.
for $339 at Costco. And it does 2 different types of 110. It's 2,000 watt. It's got USB ports. It'll run for 12 hours on 1 tank of fuel. We ran it starting at 8 o'clock in the morning. I had other jugs of fuel because I thought we'd go through them. We started this at 7:30 or 8 o'clock in the morning at King of the Streets, and we turned it off at 9:30 at night. I mean, it ran all day. It still had a half a tank in it. So this is a really good thing to get. You know, if you guys can afford this, work this into your budget. Maybe you can tell your buddy that has been thinking about getting one, but waiting for them to go on sale, so that if he gets one, maybe you can, you know, use some of his power. Anything you guys can do to get a little generator like this to get some power to the guys and gals out of the tracks. It's a great little generator. It's quiet, it's light, it's small. It says Shark RC Bodies on it. Yeah.
Says I can't rotate my phone.
Because we race out on country roads and stuff, and there's no 110, you have one of these. You have one of these bad boys right here. Yeah, they work good. So we did a soldering segment. Do me a favor, leave the camera there, and walk over and grab that 3M mask right there hanging on the wall. Purple one. I'll drink you very much. Okay. So, let's see what we got going on here. What's up? Wait, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. What's up? I want to give a big shout out to Bill Shaw of Desert Hobbies down in Arizona. They're taking the Mark Vine chassis and melding them together for people with to make bullet cars out of them. AE and Losi can be purchased through Desert Hobbies. Billy Shaw has just been a wonderfully awesome guy to me ever since I met him. And just the kind of guy I like to support. He supports me, I support him. Next thing you know, there's nowhere to go but up. So if you're down in Arizona, you know, I know that they're also doing the bullet build. They're going to be raffling off a bullet build, and I think the way you do that is you go to their video where they announced it over on YouTube. Like and subscribe their page, Desert Hobbies Arizona, and become a subscriber on their YouTube channel. And you go into the first one that's on there for the bullet build giveaway, and you comment your area code, and that gets you into the drawing. But really, Billy Shaw's been really nice to me. Everybody I've met, some of the nicest guys in the world I've met come out of Arizona. So with that said, yeah, Paul says ask Tim Tegu. It's good to have oil in the generator before you start it. Yeah, guys, remember that if you do buy a generator, no Japanese or Chinese products come, like a Kawasaki motorcycle or a Honda quad. They all come dry. So don't get it home and open it up and try and start it up. It's got no oil in it. Chances are whatever you bought isn't going to start anyway because it's got a low oil sensor in it, and it won't start without oil in it. But
nowadays,
yeah, there are some models out there of generators and stuff that will still start, and just make sure you check the oil. And not only check the oil, but check the correct viscosity. Maybe it's anti-foaming agent oil, whatever the instruction manual for whatever gas engine you're running. And be careful because they get hot. And whatever you do, guys, please, if anybody sees this and buys one of these, do not run this in your garage. Do not run this in the house. Always make sure you're in a ventilated area. So, was it a month or two ago, there was a huge freak storm in Texas, and everybody was snowed over. They sold out in generators overnight across the state, and like 37 people died in their homes because they were trying to stay warm using the generator as 110 for their heaters inside the house. So I'm not saying there's any of my watchers or anybody that's going to see this is going to be foolish enough to do that and make that mistake, but please don't, guys. Do not try and run these in the house. You could die of asphyxiation if I were to work on my car for 4 hours and start that thing and just shut the door and let it run in here. I mean, eventually, a lot of people have passed away that way. So let's not even go there. Another thing is also safety too. We were at the race San Leandro. It ran very smoothly. My hat's off to those guys down there. We had a lot of fun. There were some guys with some in between rounds. They were letting them run them back and forth full speed, and nobody was enforcing that after you do your run, you bring your car back slowly. Well, Emma, my daughter, was coming back across from where they were running, and we were pitted on this side. She was playing with some kids on this side. She was walking back, and I said, Emma, look both ways, and she stops because I said her name, and just then a green DR10 doing about 50 miles an hour at 4 feet high off the ground flies through the air right behind her head. I was livid at the fact that they weren't watching out for kids. So other than that, the race was great, but safety first. When you are at a real racetrack, a NASCAR race, your local dirt oval race, there is something called the hot side of the wall. If you are on the hot side of the wall, you are in danger's way. So just be careful of your surroundings, guys. We're getting these cars, some of these cars, that Corleone will do 75 miles an hour. That thing hits you, you're going to the ER. You're not going to get back up. You're not going to take your shoe off to see if your foot's bleeding. You're not going to be able to stand up. So please be careful, guys. Another thing is I did a soldering thing the other day, or a couple weeks ago. Do you remember that, Rich? Okay. Now, one of my episodes on my page is soldering. We solder up an R1 speed control, and I break this little puppy out, and I tell you guys
So the other night wasn't your first time?
No, it wasn't. But I still messed everything up. So this right here, this is better than, say, the stupid little masks they call respirators. I've gone through this before. I'll go through this again. If you're soldering, do not just solder and breathe that smoke, you guys. That is straight lead and tin smoke. It's some of the worst in the world to breathe, okay? Don't think that one of those little N95 masks, those are not respirators. Those are particulate filter stoppers. So if you're cutting with wood, it will stop the wood chips from you breathing the sawdust in. It is not going to stop vapor. Only a certified actual respirator like this one here. It has the screw off cartridges that I can change. They're actually like air filters for me being the engine. And this is a really cool way to keep the smoke away from you. Okay. So I actually, I really don't like wearing these, but I smoked cigarettes for pack and a half for 25 years, and I quit by the grace of God cold turkey about 5 years ago. I haven't been a cigarette smoker in 5 years, and I'm very, very, very cautious with wanting to grow into my old age to walk my daughter down the aisle. That there's some of the stuff. I mean, I'm a 34-time state certified welder too, so everybody's always asking me to weld stuff, and I always set up fans and I do stuff so that I don't have to breathe that stuff. It's really nasty stuff, but I don't like to wear these. So I made this little guy out of just some household items, and I set this up right where I'm soldering. And what this is a weighted fan with a little computer fan on the top. And as you can see, it's just on an old piece of aluminum that was bent into an over 90L. And it's got a bunch of wheel weights from automotive on it, and then I put some grip tape on the bottom, and it's just a cheap little computer fan. If you got an old computer or something that isn't working, it might have a fan in it, rip it apart, you can probably find one. Most of them run off of they say 5 volts or an amp, and they actually run off of 2S packs. This is an old 2S pack that I don't use anymore. I don't know why. It's got like a run on it. It's a brand new Trinity pack, but I run R1 packs, max amp packs. So, but what I'll do is I get my soldering iron hot, I get my sponge nice and wet, and then I'll take this guy. Now what this is doing is this is not blowing like a big fan strong enough to maybe take any temperature out of my soldering iron. But what this is doing is it's an exhaust fan. That smoke never comes up in my face. If I don't use one of those, and I don't have one of those on, which every now and then for a little repair or something I'll find myself doing, and I should not do that because it's bad stuff to breathe, I'll find myself going and blowing the smoke away. So the only problem with that is eventually when you go long enough, you have to go, and when you do that, the smoke comes right back up in your face. So I made this a while ago, and what this does is this isn't going to blow cool enough or hard enough to turn the soldering iron down, and not allowed to get hot enough. But it's going to blow just hard enough to keep that smoke away from the most important part I don't want the smoke hitting, and that's this mouth and this nose. So, and this is also a good idea for anybody out there who maybe has asthma that is into this hobby, that solders or whatever. Super freaking bad for people with asthma. But I suggest everybody in this hobby learn how to solder. Don't be scared of it. Make it your biatch. And
scared.
What's
I'm
that?
afraid. I'm scared.
You scared? I'm a little scared too.
I'm scared.
Yeah. The humming takes my mind off of how scared I am.
I'm scared.
So this is really simple, guys. As you can see here, just some holes drilled in it. And I wired it with zip ties, and I bolted the fan on, and it's up right at the perfect height and tilted back a little bit, and it's weighted, so when I'm, if I'm moving stuff around and I do this, from the most part, it just comes back because it's weighted. So it works pretty good. I mean, I can get this thing almost that far over, and it still comes back. But I have literally nothing in here. You could probably get the wheel weights for free. You can find something with a fan in it. Everybody's going to have a little piece of aluminum or something, and you don't even have to use aluminum. You could use anything. But just to get a little fan when you guys are soldering, it's really, really good to have some kind of exhaust fan when you're soldering. So it will also eliminate the need to wear one of these, which I hate. I'm too good looking to wear one of those. I want to hide all this. This wasn't an accident. So anyway, let's see if there's any other questions.
Anyway.
I think that my generator will probably run probably 5 or 6 chargers at once, and that's dual chargers. What's up, Frank? Frank, I gotta get up and race with you guys. Yeah, it's a cool little idea, guys. And like I said, I remember when I was, I know there's a lot of you guys out there that are into this. They're in their late 20s, early 30s, or whatever. When I was that age, I thought, man, I got hydraulic rams as arms, and I got a titanium spine, and I can breathe anything. And man, that's just not the case. You hit your 40s, and you go, holy crap, my back's done, my hands hurt all the time, and it catches up with you. So.
Until you're 50, brother.
Yeah, I mean, this is just one thing that you guys don't want to be breathing. I mean, they say, we all know cigarettes are bad and vape pens are bad for us and stuff, but you don't even want to know what's in that tin and lead solder. So, really? So, excuse me. Let's see. Freaking Rich, dude. Hey, it's Rich's birthday, and technically he can do anything he wants. So, it is what it is. So yeah, like I said, guys, I have some pretty intensive tech videos that I want to do in the near future. But they are waiting on a couple things. Point being, Jake Rosen of Jake's Performance Hobbies at 707-586-3375 is taking pre-orders of the losi car right now, and I have a losi car ordered, and we'll be taking that apart right here on the show, over every little nut and bolt to see what it's made of. We have the, eventually in the next month or so, 3 to 5 weeks, whatever it's going to be, we're going to have another shark drop, and I think that's it.
Thanks, Frank.
Everything feels nice. Yeah, so let's wrap it up. It's Rich's birthday. The kids are screaming outside. And we will have another episode for you next Saturday. So tune in, 6 p.m. We should call it the Rich and Dan Show. I didn't know how it was going to format. It just kind of translated into this, and I think that Rich is pretty good on camera. We talk really good. He's an intelligent guy, and it's just kind of formed into this.
Good behind the camera.
Well, come over here.
No, good. Behind
Come on.
the camera. Right.
We'll talk about the first thing that pops up.
It's going to be a short conversation.
Exactly, right? So yeah, we'll keep you guys informed on the shark stuff and everything else that's going on. And I just want to say thanks to everybody that stood behind me and supported me. And God bless America. And I hope you enjoyed episode 9. I know it wasn't super intense. Once again, this was aimed at more of the newcomer, somebody who's just getting into the sport. So that's kind of where I want to, if you're a heavy hitter like I am, and you're watching my videos, and sometimes you're like, we all know that, dude. Believe it or not, there's some guys that don't know this stuff. And that's what I make the shows for. So until next week, same bat time, same bat channel. Have a great night, guys.
Peace out.